on LBC. I put on LBC. Yeah, I put on LBC. Over LBC. I put on LBC. Over LBC. Wave riders in the building, yeah, they riding with me. Moon guys on my chain, ain't no breaking the team. Started with a vision, now we running the game. Charts glow, purple teal, yeah, you know the name. From the beach to the block, we controlling the tide. Every candle that we light, that's the way we ride. I've been grinding through the night while the city don't sleep. Putting LBC on maps, taking wins, stacking deep. From the charts to the streets, got the fam in the mix. Every move calculated, yeah, we playing with steel. I put over LBC, over LBC. I put over LBC, over LBC. Wave riders in the building, yeah, they riding with me. Moon guys on my chain, ain't no breaking the team. Crypto hustle late nights, yeah, we stay in the zone. Stacking knowledge, stacking bags, turning charts into gold. Market makers throw shade, but we glow through the rain. Every dip just a test, every loss turns to gain. Got the fam worldwide, but the roots run deep. From the med, I was grind to the LBC streets. This for every wave rider who believed in the dream. We gon' put it on the map, keep it real, reign supreme. Reign supreme, reign supreme, reign supreme. I put over LBC, over LBC. I put over LBC, over LBC. From the charts to the stage, man, you know who it be. It's that Lunar Beaches fam putting on endlessly.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lunar Beaches Crypto, where we ride the waves of the crypto market all the way to the moon. Thank you for joining me. I do greatly appreciate it. It is August 3rd, 2026, a Monday at 10:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you all are doing well, getting a little bit of Bitcoin pump action. We will see if it can sustain. My bet is that it does not, which is why I'm already positioning for a short, and I'm ready to ride this thing all the way down to around $60,000. And that's about it. Maybe. We'll see. But anyways, let's say good evening to the wonderful people. Good evening, Alexandra G. Mod Queen, Mod Boss, Mod God. Thank you all thank you for being here, and thank you for pinning the Discord link in the chat. I do greatly appreciate you. Sorry, I was trying to do the Mod God emoji and talk at the same time. Apparently, not a good multitask for me. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for pinning the Discord link in the chat. I do appreciate you doing that every single night. We've got Mike Vollmer in the house. What's going on, Mike? How you doing, bro? Thank you for being here. Sincere82. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Let's go. We got All Set in the house. What's up, fam? How you doing? How you doing? Nick Dunn, what's going on, bro? And Harpsky, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? All right, let's get to the charts. Bitcoin getting the move today after the flush last night, or really this AM, has since pushed to the upside. This does look like a potential 5-wave impulse, which means it's probably not quite done. And the third wave did break this high, which kind of validates the 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's what I am thinking we could see for Bitcoin before it does, I believe, top out. Unfortunately, I do not think this impulse does sustain itself. It could. a little longer. But I think that we do make our way down here. Maybe a little lower than 60K. I mean, down here, I mean, the top side demand is right here. So 60,800 or so. And why did I block that off? Weekly, nope, not even a weekly. Oh, wait, that's not the weekly. Yeah, weekly wicks. That's okay. I was like, what? Sometimes I mark off so many levels on so many different charts that I forget where I'm at, which is why I have my main trading chart. Sorry for the flashbang. Which is why I have my main trading chart, which stays unaltered. But my my stream charts, they can get a little crazy, little spaghetti. Shout out to OC guy over on the Piper Academy. It can get a little bit of spaghetti on the charts. Shout out to spaghetti. So yeah, we'll go over the Bitcoin price. We'll go over all of that stuff. But right now, well, let's see. I think we want to see what we're thinking right now, right? What we're thinking right now. Well, let's see. Let's pull a fib from high to low here real quick. Fib from high to low. Ooh, that's a 786 rejection. Did close above the golden pocket, but 786 rejection is not good. But I don't see a 5-wave impulse in here, but that does to make the 5th wave. But that doesn't mean that just means that this whole move might not be a 5-wave impulse. So there's that. Lower time frames. I mean, I mean, this is just chop. It's chop, no impulsing in there. So I still think this probably pushes higher. What's our CVD saying? Well, maybe not. That doesn't really look good. That doesn't really look good. So our CVDs are showing a big bullish push. Bulls being aggressive and breaking out above the highs. However, price did not follow. Yes, it did get the push, but this is potential CVD divergence. Remember from last night, not maybe last week, maybe. Divergence doesn't count, doesn't get validated until price comes down and breaks that high or low in this instance. So once you break that low, now this bear div gets officially validated. And that can trip a lot of people up because, you know, most people or a lot of people, when they first get into trading and they first learn about divergences, they think it's like the miracle. I think it's the gift that just keeps on giving, when in reality it's just more of a signal, an early or even late signal. So, but divergences, you want to try and take advantage of them at certain times, and what better times than when they form at key levels. That's the biggest thing. You can filter out a lot of bad trades just by looking at divergences. RSI, or pick your favorite oscillator, they all have divergences and they can all play out. But if you filter them out to just be and pay attention to, one, your market structure, but two, key levels. If they're happening at key levels, that's like a time to like pay attention and then look for your setup. If you're like a contrarian trader or reversal trader, which I do favor as myself. I'm more of a reversal type of trader. I'm not a breakout trader too much. It depends. Like I said, it really depends on market structure, and if I think there's a good chance that price can push higher. Now, I did have a Bitcoin long open. I've already closed it for, I don't know, 13% profit. So that was good. But But yeah, so we're in that first level of resistance that I had mapped out here. Bingo, bango. What's going on, Joe? How you doing, bro? Bro, Joe? What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Make sure you guys subscribe to Trade Intuition. Hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, let's see. Let's pull fixed range volume profile. Bless me. Jeez. That was aggressive. I believe I marked these levels off, yeah, because of the volume profile. So, all right. So we did break above the value area high, but it's not really... Yeah. That's more like it. See, we're at macro POC. Is this which chart am I on? Which chart am I on? Yeah, if the volume profile from from this last macro swing high and onward and over, we are at the point of control. That is what Bitcoin is currently fighting against. Also, just random anchor VWAP from this high, fighting up against this. I don't know why I'm saying against like that. But we did, however, break above the swing low, macro swing low, anchor VWAP, broke above it, back tested it, closed above it, and are now pushing away from it. And because of that, I do believe we have the chance of coming up to the swing high anchor VWAP, sitting at $64,277. I don't know. Let me change this. Is this locked? No, it's not locked. Good. Because this is way off. Shows you how long it's been since I drew on this specific chart. Since like here, I guess. Okay, so yeah, fighting up against, so you can see we're stuck between a lot of these, volume-based levels. How about time-based? What is I don't have any indicators on this chart. That's bananas. STPO. I like this one. Session, time, price, opportunity. If you know TPO, I found this TPO indicator. I mean, it's TradingView's indicator, but it's their session one, not their regular TPO. But this one, I'm able to come in here and actually like customize it to whatever session. I do believe I ended up doing. Is it what time is what is this one? Wait, when does this end? Why it goes? Why did I do? I believe that's. Oh, I believe this is 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that makes this to 12:30. I believe that is the 8:30. That doesn't even make sense because that goes to 12:30. So that means that would be, because this can't, no, that does make sense. Yeah, I believe that's the 8:30 futures open. So I had it specifically doing that time frame to map out from the start of the Asia session. This was specifically for, I set that, I made that the default settings. This was specifically for the Asia session for my streams. So I wanted to watch that that TPO. Time price opportunity, if you do not know, each block represents a point in time, basically. So, and they're lettered. So your A's, your capital A's, it goes from A to Z, all capital, to A to Z, all lowercase. And essentially, A is the start of the first block, or the first session, if you will. Each block is each letter represents 30 minutes of time. Okay, so A is the first 30 minutes of the session, B is the next 30 minutes, C is the 30 minutes following that, and so on and so forth. And so the reason why you want to look at this is so that you can see how much time price actually spent at different places. And when you throw a volume profile on top of it, you can see not only volume, but time spent at certain levels. And this is where the market is finding value, because it's spending time there. So there's a lot of orders being traded at that price for an extended period of time. And when that matches up with your volume, those can be very significant levels, very strong levels, because that is where the market found fair value, where it tends to push through quickly, where you don't see a lot of time spent because there's no like real agreement on price there, because you have to match the buy orders with the sell orders. So you're going back and forth. What's going on, Bearded Mac Mike? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you, Trade Intuition, for the bless you. I do appreciate you, man. So once you rode the wave in again, what's going on, Rich Sainsbury? Oh, Wave Gang in the house. Hopefully they caught a little bit of my explanation of TPO if you're not familiar with it. But it also has, your value area high, your POC, or this is the midpoint, your POC, and your value area low for the TPO. That's time, price, opportunity. Again, it is when it shows where the most time was spent at each price level. And each letter represents 30 minutes of time. So, and this is where a lot of people get confused. That's why I'm like wanting to explain it, because I was confused myself. At first, I thought each block was 30 minutes of time, but I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. Price just shot through, right? It's not each block. It's each letter represents 30 minutes of time. So you could spend all 30 minutes right here in the A's, and then go to the B's, and then to the C's. And at the end of every 30 minutes, it goes to the next letter and all that, all the way to Z. And then you get something that builds out like this. And what's cool about this one is that it does a gradient for the time. So if I come over here, I want to get them set to something that makes a little bit more sense, like something that like progresses. But it goes from red to green to light blue to purple as your default. And so the purple is the last part of the session that you select. And that is if time, depends completely on the session that you have picked. Like, if you'll probably get purple if I do like a 24 out, if I just did like a 12 to 12, or not a 12 to 12, but an 8 to 8. Yeah, see, you'll get a lot more in there with that. And when you get a POC on your TPO and your volume profile lining up, those can be pretty significant levels. I've also been learning a lot about the different types of, I'm calling them waves. Shout out to the Wave Gang. I'm calling them waves. Other people call them, shapes. Profiles. They just call them profiles. I'm calling them waves. But there's like different types of profiles, different types of waves. So you got your capital B waves, which tend to be transitional or disagreement. So transitional. What do I mean by that? So if we transition from one value area to the next value area. So it can signal a transition, and you could actually be building a new floor and then push higher, or it can be indecision or disagreement, and you got to come back down and kind of work out this zone, right? And then if you come down and you lose this zone, or you find some agreement here, but you don't find acceptance back to the upside, obviously fall through. So the POC over here, actually, I kind of like to look left and see what's to the left of me. But what I really like to watch is the actual wave of the market, if you will. So you can actually see, okay, like volume here, but you can see it kind of shift, right? First we make our way. First we pop above here, push, come down, spend some time here, come down. But you can see, okay, lots of time spent in these areas. That's nice. That's nice. And then a lot of people are like, well, yeah, you can see the consolidation range. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. And honestly, if you look at charts long enough, you can kind of spot a lot of these levels yourself. Just saying. Like, you don't need the fancy indicators. I've always preached that. You don't need fancy indicators. You don't need not a single one of them. But they can help. They can help. But if I just go to any, let me go to a different chart. Let me go to a clean chart. Yes, I think Bitcoin go up and then go down. Okay, there we go. Could go up, could go down. And I prefer to do like zones, but I mean, I can just see like the levels. I mean, it's just kind of like, I mean, isn't it clear, right? Come down, you play around with this one, get a bounce, come down, reject it again. So the objective is what? Get above this level aggressively, like convincingly. That's the objective if you're wanting to go higher. Then we have a whole bunch of like lows tapped together. So now it's like, okay, can this level sustain itself? And if we break down, then what? Well, then we look for the retrace back into that level and see if it can get back above it or if it just rejects it. But the name of the trading game is have your levels. This is why FD White said something and TradeFly agreed with him on X. I think it was yesterday, sometime over the weekend, I believe. Basically said, you know, FD White was like, my support and resistance trading beats most of y'all tradings any day of the week, and it's so simple. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, I mean, it can. It absolutely can. And it's all about managing that risk. You can say, hey, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out, right? Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes you look for that move back down to this level. Sometimes you can set up a long and you can say, I want my stop loss below this low, and you can go and you aim for the high or the next, which for me, you know, I just take in as many of these highs as possible. Not as many, but, and see where we spend a lot of time. We actually spend a lot of time here, but I digress. Specific levels do get tapped, right? And yeah, I mean, first, you know, you try here, then you try here. Or if you lose this level and then you lose the level on the 4 hour, go down to the 15-minute. And you see, all right, did we get a rejection now that we've broken this level? What happens? It breaks the level, comes up to it, rejects it. Okay, you see the slowdown, and then you see the push down. And now I can just say, all right, well, all but this break right here, Then you get the little bit of pullback. Put my stop just above. This is to your discretion. I don't like relatively equal highs here or here, so I'll just put my stop up here and then just aim for that next level. And it bounces right at that level here on the 15-minute too. Bounces off and then rolls over. And I mean, it's that simple. It can be that simple. And you know, we like to overcomplicate trading because you know, we just want the perfect system, but there is no perfect system when it comes to trading. It is key levels and managing risk is like most of trading. Managing yourself too. Managing yourself. But managing your risk helps manage yourself. And understanding that it is a marathon and not a sprint. Not a sprint. That it does take time and several trades. For me, recently, starting to get back, having 6 straight weeks of profitability. Last week, I think I was down like, I think I lost less than 1% of the account last week, but that's because of risk management. If it wasn't for risk management and it wasn't for me taking more trades and multiple trades, I might not have made that back. If I just quit and if I just stopped and then I went and looked for a different strategy and started trying to find a different strategy because the strategy I was using stopped working. So now I got to find another strategy, right? No. If you find something that hits, I prefer to be over 40%. And so, and over 50% is fantastic because I do a lot of scalping. So, the objective, you know, is obviously like 2 to 1 being your average and winning half of that. So you're making about 50% of your risk per trade is going to be your average per trade, if that makes sense. So if you put $10 of risk on a trade on a 2 to 1 average, you should be making 50 cents a trade. 50 cents? No. 10, 5, $5 a trade. On average. Averaged out over time. Statistics are hard. So there's also a seasonality. So you don't want just, I mean, you can have one setup for life if you want, but there will be seasons when that setup just isn't as good as another setup could be. And I think if you have a good 3 to 4 different types of setups, I think you're good. Just stop there. Just stop. If you could your win rate's one thing, okay? Your win rate's one thing. You can hit 30% and be profitable. I've done it plenty of times. You can hit 30%, be profitable. Win rate's good, but your expected R, your R multiple, that's what really matters. What is your average R in your profit factor, right? If you're not making at least like, I mean, your profit factors, you really want over a 1 or over. Because you're averaging profit every trade on average. So you're 2 to 1. It's 2 to 1 bare minimum for me. That's what helps me sleep at night. There's some people that can trade 1-to-1s all day and they're perfectly fine. I need at least a 2 to 1, preferably 3 to 1, especially on swings. Now, 2 to 1 in a scalp is not bad. 2 to 1 as an average, not bad. Profit factor over 1, really good. Your expected shifted C, which is basically your actual R multiple after fees and slippage are removed, because a lot of people don't factor those into their trades. Fees and slippage. So, rode the wave in and I'm on the beach now is what I should have said the first time. Shaking my head. It's all right, Rich. We still love you. We still love you. What's going on, Cal? 3? I don't even know what that means. But thank you for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. Are we forming a inverse head and shoulders? Or as some people call it, a Wyckoff accumulation? Wyckoff. I love a good Wyckoff, but the problem with Wyckoff, it's not really a problem. It's just me being just noticing things. The problem with Wyckoff is that it's basically just glorified reversal patterns. That's all it is. Glorified reversal patterns, and let me just prove it to you. Wyckoff schematics, images, flashbang. Wyckoff. I just want one that shows, that has a few of them on it. Come on. Come on. Anyways. Wyckoff accumulation. Anyways, there's your inverse head and shoulders pattern. Inverse head and shoulders. Look, someone even drew them out. Look. Cup and handle. Double bottom. Descending wedge. Ascending channel. Like, it's all just... It's all it is, man. Look, you can see. Hypodermic top, rounded top, double top. See, it's Wyckoff is just glorified patterns, man. That's all it is. And someone said that this was going to come down for that specific type of Wyckoff pattern. And, you know, it doesn't really go with my 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I guess it kind of does. Except I would expect to get above this high first. So I'm wondering if we even put in a new low. Yep, I said it. Could be move up, move down, last flush, and that's it. One more capitulation is all that I see in the market, and then I think it reverses. So we'll see. That capitulation either takes us lower or comes down to this demand zone and bounces off. That is my current thesis, my expectations that I have been going on about for a while now. A couple months, probably. When did this bounce start? In March? Maybe, I would say it's probably more around June that I started to say it. April, June? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Brownie points for giving 2 different forecasts, you know. But I mean, these lows being taken would not surprise me at all. Coming up, this is what I'm kind of currently thinking, is that we come up for this buy side liquidity. And then we get one more push down or another push down. And then we got a decision to make from that point. So we'll see. From there, if we can get 5-wave impulse out of here, and the 3rd wave breaks above these highs, then I'm good with it. And I might even call the bottom in. But really likely to be just sideways and boring. Up, down, all around. And yeah, who knows? Who knows? Total 2. Something, oh, I did want to go over this. This was interesting. So I was explaining it last night, and I think I nailed it, except this does it a lot better. So I would like to share this with you all. It's just a few minutes long, but this is explaining the cold card hack.
A Bitcoin wallet is protected by a seed phrase, a list of words that acts like the master key to the wallet. If someone discovers that phrase, they can take control of the Bitcoin inside. So what stops an attacker from simply guessing it? The answer is the number of possible seed phrases. A properly configured Bitcoin wallet chooses its seed from an incomprehensibly enormous pool. The larger and less predictable that pool is, the harder it is for an attacker to search. This is where randomness matters. The wallet needs a reliable source of randomness so that no one can predict which seed it will choose. But in affected cold card firmware, a bug caused the wallet to use a more predictable software generator. The seed phrases still looked random to their owners, but they were being selected from a much smaller set of possibilities. To understand how much smaller, let's turn those possibilities into something we can compare.
This is crazy.
We will let one atom represent one potential Bitcoin seed phrase. Somewhere in the full collection is one key atom, the seed that unlocks the wallet.
Atom.
We begin with a single atom, representing a single possible seed. Now zoom out to a protein. A protein contains about 2 to the power of 10 atoms. If this were the entire pool, a computer could test every possibility and find the key atom almost instantly. Zoom out again to a large virus, containing about 2 to the power of 30 atoms. In our simplified model, every potential Bitcoin seed phrase created by the affected cold card firmware fits inside this virus as atoms. A computer could search that full set in about 3 hours. That may sound enormous, but how does it compare with the search pool of a correctly generated 24-word Bitcoin seed phrase? Would it fill a grain of sand? A grain contains about 2 to the power of 60 atoms, not even close. What about Jupiter? At roughly 2 to the power of 180 atoms, it is still
We go from a grain of sand to, what about Jupiter?
nowhere near large enough.
I'm
The
getting to
entire
that.
Milky Way contains
I'm getting to that, JB.
roughly 2 to the power of 225 atoms. Surely that must be enough.
Look at
Not
that.
quite. A properly generated seed has 2 to the power of 256 possibilities.
What?
To represent every one of those possibilities with an atom, we would need about 2 billion galaxies the size of the Milky Way. To hack a properly configured Bitcoin wallet, an attacker would need to find one specific atom hidden somewhere across those 2 billion galaxies. That is the scale of the cold card bug. It reduced the challenge from finding one atom across 2 billion galaxies to finding one atom inside a large virus.
Crazy, dog. Crazy. Hello, fellow naked traders. What's going on, Dusty? How you doing? Isn't that crazy, though? Bro, it's like trying to find an atom between several billions of galaxies. Like, that's pretty insane, dude. And what's even crazier, wait, where is it? What's even crazier than that is this. So this is a post from Cold Card in 2021, October 2021. Mind you, in March of that year was when this code was released. Okay, for the entropy. Cold Card makes retirement attacks impossible. Generate your own entropy and reproduce it provably. Reproduce it provably. Jesus. If you don't trust our random number generator, how ironic. This is irony. If you don't trust our random number generator, you can generate the BIP39 seed phrase using dice rolls. We help with this process. You just have to press 1 through 6 for each roll. 99 rolls recommended. At the end of that process, you'll have a properly encoded seed phrase based solely on the dice rolls. Learn how to verify Cold Card's dice rolls math here. And then someone commented, what's a retirement attack? And Cold Card replied, it's when the project makers have a bug in the entropy generation for later retrieval. What? What? Someone said, ooh. Is this a confession? Excuse me? What? This can't be a coincidence, right? There's no way this is a coincidence. There's no way. Someone even asked Grok. Grok, what are the mathematical odds that Cold Card would make this joke and then the exact scenario they're joking about would turn out to be true a few years later? The odds of pure coincidence are effectively zero. Cold Card was describing a known theoretical risk called a retirement attack. Makers intentionally weaken entropy generation so they can recover funds later. Their 2021 joke about that exact failure mode became reality in 2026 when an accidental firmware bug, I threw in the quotes, accidental firmware bug reduced seed entropy in roughly 40 bits on affected devices, enabling the sweeps. And last I checked, the amount of Bitcoin that has been stolen has now broken $100 million worth of BTC. Now, you know, if you're not a hardware guy or gal, if you don't use Cold Card, maybe you don't care, and I'm right there with you. The reason why I bring up stuff like that is like, it's almost comical how different narratives, all the biggest narratives come at bottoms. They come at bottoms. And to me, a bottom is any and all of this. Okay? It could go just completely sideways. That's the bottom. Now, the bottom, you know, that everybody looks for is the bottom, whether it's this bottom or one that's lower. Okay? Whatever. To me, the bottom is a process. It's a bottoming process. And so I'm just like, whatever, it's low enough for me to start a DCA. I'm good with it. I'm not trying to call tops or bottoms. But what I will recognize is that narratives always show up. Terrible narratives always show up. The worst at bottoms. Strategy is having to sell. Bitcoin treasuries, not looking too good. Jack Mallers steps down as CEO of his Bitcoin treasury. We have rate hikes coming up. We have the Japan carry trade. We have the Iran war and gas prices. We have all of it. All the narratives happening all around, all at once, at the same time. The Cold Card wallet hack. You know, this is the end of Bitcoin. It's over, you know, or I'm fleeing, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it hits your algorithm. And you just start seeing it constantly, because it's hitting your algorithm. And then, you know, the whole point of bringing all that up is to just be like, don't let the emotions, the narratives drive your decision making. It will make you want to sell. A lot of people will say they will make you want to sell. They set up the narratives on purpose. It doesn't matter to me if there is a they, if there's a puppet master pulling the puppet strings, if it's the Great Wizard of Oz. Doesn't matter to me. I really don't care. I just see the narratives happening and when they are happening. And it just so happens that the worst ones tend to be at bottoms and the best ones tend to be at tops. And like in volume, have like it's not just you know, the Iran war. It's not only rate hikes. It's not only Japan carry trade. You know, it's not only cold card wallet hack. It's not just, it's all of them, all around the same time. In my experience, this sentiment like that, narratives that drive sentiment like that, whether on purpose or not, doesn't really matter to me. Those always come at significant levels. Always. Those tend to come at significant levels. And so, in me seeing all those narratives coming in, piling in all at once, all around the same time, I'm just like, if the bottom hasn't come in, I think we're a lot closer to it than than everybody thinks we are. And so that's just me going off of my experience and especially from last bear market. That was, you know, learned about that a lot there, you know, last bull market too. I mean, it happens at the tops, you know, at the tops. The most euphoric moment was over here. It wasn't here. It was over here. This is when Bitcoin first started to show real weakness. You start to get that that topping structure, and then it plummets, right? And now we're breaking things. And then you get your short squeeze dead cat bounce to the upside, in my opinion, an overextended dead cat bounce because of how much money we printed. You know, normal times, if El Salvador didn't get in, I don't think we make this extra move here. I think this just really dead cat bounces and then moves down. Now, I did catch a blockchain backers video today. I think he's pretty much calling the bottom end, but he made a lot of good arguments, and a lot of the arguments that I make is because I watched a lot of him when I first started getting into the charts and stuff. And if there's anything he's been really good at, it's usually getting close to tops and bottoms. And it's because of that whole narrative thing. And it's because of that, you know. But I suggest you go and watch his latest video. It's pretty in depth, but he goes over it. I'm stealing content. Not really, YouTube. I'm not really stealing content. I said go watch him. Go watch it. He'll break it down better than I can. But he's essentially saying that this is where we actually are. This is where we caught up to the actual drop. And that if you're lining it up, that we are actually right. Because he says in the video something about like pretty much all the technicals that we saw around the FTX collapse right here all happened around here on this final push down right here. So like 1.5 million coins or 10.5 million coins in a loss. You know, same with Ethereum. Not, you know, the number is different, but like historically, once you've gone into 10.5 million Bitcoin in a loss, that has marked the bottom. So his thing is like, this was like just another collapse, but this is essentially all the same correction, the move up, push down. I mean, even the push, these pushes are on the same level here. Like it's kind of crazy, but yeah, he seems to think we are about right here, which after this, we did this. Or right here, rather. He thinks we're right here. So But he said that like even if you do try to line it up uh, with the top, wait, which one was he going with? He said some if you try to do it how everybody else thinks it's actually going, I don't know, because it's none of it really lines up. But either way, you're that close to the end, so it's like why even bother on the different like the small amount of percentages. A lot of FUD, happening all at the same time. So I mean, I give it credence mostly because my thesis for months has been well, not for months for this specific move, but I have been expecting a rollover and then that's it. It's done. And whenever that comes in, doesn't really matter. I've been trying to get it to time with October 26th because that's exactly 1,534 days from the last bear market bottom. Because the two bear market bottoms before that, 3 bear market bottoms before that, from one bear market bottom to the next was 1,534 days. From that bear market bottom to the last bear market bottom was 1,534 days. And October 26, 2026 just happens to fall on 1,534 days from this bear market bottom. So that's the only reason I've gone with that. That's the primary reason. So it's not even really like 4-year cycle, even though that is a thing. And the midterm years is a thing. We've seen not just crypto kind of slow down this year. We've seen the stock market slow down a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But yeah, general consensus thesis is a third push down. Whether or not it breaks the low is anybody's guess, but I don't see it. I've been saying for a while I don't see it going below like 53K thereabouts. And then I think that's it. But I also found something else last week that I found interesting between the different cycles. Bitcoin almost worked. It almost worked. But yeah, basically right there, maybe in the middle of the golden pocket. What? It was on, I did Bitstamp, and I just did Anchor VWAPs. Oh wait, this is gonna be different Anchor VWAPs. And I just did it from the last second to last low before the last low before the capitulation. I just anchored the VWAPs to it. I was just curious. I started off with a volume profile of the whole bear market, and I was like, well, let me anchor to like the last time it touched the point of like when it left the point of control and like bottom for the next bear market. And I try to just hone it in a little bit. And if I just go from the low, which is right here, I mean, it taps it. And then if I go from this last little low before the next capitulation low, it would help if I click the actual tool. Nails it, right? So I did it again. It's a very small sample size. I said this the other day, and it hits it again. And it's hit this one. Very small sample size. Take it with a grain of salt. Nothing proven. If it does it again, though, if it bounces off this level, then I gotta say, maybe it works. maybe it works. We shall see. All right, guys. Let's go back over to lower time frame stuff and see how we're doing. Oh yeah. See. Yeah, see. At the beginning of the stream, I was talking about it breaking the 786, but it did close above the golden pocket. Did it again. Ooh, we're rejecting the 786 again, closing below it. But there's been several times when this move has stalled today. But it didn't. Not yet. Not yet. So we'll see what it does overnight. I still think another push. The question is, how long does it take for the correction to wrap up? I would think not too much longer. What does this say? 3A2 bounce? Yeah. And then from here, you got the 1.782, the 1.618, 64, 546. And yeah, hitting those resistance levels. I wanted to get up to the buy side though, which is right, yeah. That'd be a nice tasty short from here. Very tasty short. That's what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. I'm hoping it can get up here. But I already got into a short just in case, just half a position. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, but Blowfin has a multi-position mode now. So I could keep this short open and open a new one up here. Theoretically. So if I really wanted to, just have them separate. I don't know that I would want that drawdown though on this trade. Oh, where's my short at? 63,881. Close enough. 64.5. Because of the swing high. It's actually at 63,247 right now. So that swing high anchor VWAP is definitely what I'm watching here. So I posted this in the Discord. Oh, shout out to Kyle Chismore. That dude helped me out today. I can now post in my BTC TA and my altcoin TA channels in my Discord, and they will now, and I can click on them and say publish, and it will publish it to anybody that follows that channel. And he made it to where my channel within Alex's Discord will share those posts now. So I just gotta like hit the publish button so that it does share them. But that is gonna make it so much easier for me to share posts, because now a lot of times I don't. Most of the time I don't share posts because I have to share to 5 different places. I would like to be able to just post on one thing and it just posts everywhere. I could get a bot for that, but you know, that would be ideal. One day I'll figure out this technology stuff. One day I'll figure it out. I think I got it figured out more than most people, to be honest, which is bad because I still don't have much of it figured out. So anyways, the headwind for Bitcoin would be if the stock market gets a real correction. I don't disagree. Stock market's not looking too shabby though, looking like a V-shaped recovery for the NASDAQ. Gunning for those equal highs. Gunning for the equal highs. Who drew this out before this even got put in over here? I want to see it. Gun for those highs. Push. Coming up to... hopefully at least the point of control. Then we'll have to see what it wants to do from there. This takes in current price action. Now it's moved down. So getting above that is going to be key, which sits at 20. Wait, this isn't 29,283-ish. So we'll see if it can get above that. If it can get a strong push, I mean, we got all these equal highs here. We've got the equal highs at the all-time highs. Like, that's why I think it's just gonna push. On the technical end, I really like it. And yeah, and Bitcoin can come along for the ride, maybe. We'll see. All the narratives, all the same. Wait, is the S&P about to break out to new all-time high? Or did it already do it? Yo, S&P's at it's basically at its all-time high. What? Damn, dude. Damn, Daniel. Wow, what a push. I don't like this, actually. I actually don't like this. Who knows why? Who in the chat knows why? Okay, this was invalidated a while ago. Jesus. So is this. Leaving up stuff so you guys can see. I ain't trying to hide it, but I don't like looking at it. Get out of here. I got new stuff to think about. Wow. I don't really like this. Let's see. This is why. Wait, why are you just showing CVD? Calm down. I need you on the 4 hour, please, sir. Get rid of all of this. Yeah, I don't like this because the NASDAQ is not tagging along. I really don't like that. SMT divergence. Bearish SMT divergence. When's the last major high where they diverge like that? Why do you keep doing that? Right here. Trying to look for a breakout. Am I crazy? One of you's on session, aren't you? Why isn't it showing me regular trading hours? Hello? The heck? Did they change it? What is this? Use settlement. Where? Oh, right click. Is it right click? Where is it? Hello? Is it because I'm on a higher time frame? Yep. Regular trading hours, please. Also, crosshair, time, date range, interval. Please keep them all the same. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's see. See, NASDAQ breaks out here, but it's not that, S&P is not that far behind on that. what we got to see is when do they break? There, right there. It's a break. And on this one, right around there. It's not it. It's not often these don't go together, and when they don't, it's kind of creepy. Now here's a V-shaped recovery where the Nasdaq definitely broke out well before the S&P, but then it finally caught up. So okay, so it can happen. It's really all I needed to know. And look, the Nasdaq didn't take as long, or didn't fall as hard as S&P. S&P broke this low and then bounced, and that's why the Nasdaq got going a little bit better, a little bit quicker. I think S&P had more to make up, more ground to make up. And yeah, same situation here. The Nasdaq broke the low and is trying to push. The S&P didn't break the low and is getting a push, and that is actually, in both instances, bullish SMT divergence. SMT divergence when two highly correlated assets such as the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq diverge at swing levels. So if they are diverging at swing lows, it's a bullish divergence. If they are diverging at swing highs, it is a bearish divergence, which is why I was kind of like, I don't know that I like this, because that would be a bearish SMT divergence. Which came first, though? The bullish one. Bounce, down, divergence, push, push, and perhaps they both stall. Who knows? They might stall because we are going into midterms, and that's where a lot of people's attention will be moved to. Their focus will turn. So, wow, I'm over time. Thank you all for joining me. I do greatly appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind going ahead and hitting that like button on your way out, hitting that subscribe if you are new, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I create new content and when I go live. As always, nothing on the channel is financial advice. It is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So, it's been fun, guys. It's been a fun Monday. Hope you had a fantastic Monday. Hope you have a fantasticer Tuesday. Tomorrow, I got to look at it real quick for you guys. We want to, I know there's data. We got Jolt's job openings at 9 a.m. So that's my time. So at 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Jolt's. It's only an orange folder, but it definitely could be something that could push us into our top. Maybe. We'll see. But yeah. Outside of that, guys, we'll look into S&P. Yeah, I mean, more. We'll look into S&P more. You are? Okay, fine. But anyways, thank you guys. I do greatly appreciate it. I will see you all tomorrow evening. I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep or rest of your day. Mad love. God bless. Deuces. Ride the waves. Bye.
I put on LBC. I put on LBC. Yeah, I put on LBC. On LBC. I put on LBC. On LBC. Wave riders in the building, yeah, they riding with me. Moon guys on my chain, ain't no breaking the team. Started with a vision, now we running the game. Charts glow, purple teal, yeah, you know the name. From the beach to the block, we controlling the tide. calculated, yeah, we playing with steel. I put over LBC, over LBC. I put over LBC, over LBC. Wave riders in the building, yeah, they riding with me. Moon guys on my chain, ain't no breaking the team. Crypto hustle late nights, yeah, we stay in the zone. Stacking knowledge, stacking bags, turning charts into gold. Market makers throw shade, but we glow through the rain. Every dip just a test, every loss turns to gain. Got the fam worldwide, but the roots run deep. From the med, I was grind to the LBC streets. This for every wave rider who believed in the dream. We gon' put it on the map, keep it real, reign supreme. Reign supreme, reign supreme, reign supreme. I put over LBC, over LBC. I put over LBC, over LBC. From the charts to the stage, man, you know who it be. It's that Lunar Beaches fam putting on endlessly.
Yes, thank you, mods. You're all amazing. Also, I'm okay to print, yo. Look at this. Look at this. Print. Bye.